All right, we're going to try again. For some reason, there were a couple of technical difficulties. Not sure what was going on with it, but it looks like it's starting now, so we'll see what happens. Hello, everybody. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, We Love Comics. And today is Comic Book Wednesday, so I got some new comics that I'm going to show that are out today. Books that you may want to check out or you may not know about. Obviously, I'm not going to show every book out there, so if I miss something, put it in the live comment section and also in the comment section once this processes. So it looks like the stream is actually going to stay on, so that is always a good sign. So let's put on the camera, and I also will be including a key issue unboxing because I got a couple of books I want to show, but there isn't anything that's like you need to really just get in your car and get it right now. So with that being said, I see enough people are already starting to be here. I apologize for whatever technical glitch that was, but here we go. So the first one I'm going to show is a book I get. This is Walking Dead issue number 183. I have the complete run of Walking Dead. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. It was some kind of glitch with the live stream. And I get two of each. This is the variant cover. I like this kind of painted artwork. Alright, and as usual, I gotta thank Corey. I mean, Corey, you're an awesome guy. Anybody that ever does these super chats, I want to make sure I always, shout them out and give them credit and read what you write. So thank you for that. And Corey Maxwell says, start my dude off right. Much love, Chris. I don't know who your dude is, but I'm glad I could start him off right. But I'm sure you meant my day, but thank you for that. That's all right, Pages says you're a little late. Like they say, a little late than never. I was actually experiencing some technical difficulties, so technically you're not really late because I only showed two comics right now. And those are just because I have the Walking Dead complete run. So here are all the number ones. This shocks me. This is actually a Marvel book that a number one where it's not $4.99. This is the variant. Now there's of course a bunch of different copies as usual in typical Marvel fashion. This is Asgardians of the Galaxy. I thought that was kind of funny. This is the Scotty Young variant. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but your eyes are not deceiving you. Yes, that says $3.99 for a Marvel number one issue. I cannot believe it. So, of course, they have a couple of different covers. I'm not one of those people anymore that's going to buy 500 different covers. If you want to do it, that's perfectly fine. All right, so let's get into all the number ones. There's a bunch of them today, and some of them look pretty cool. Obviously, I don't know what they're about because I have not had the opportunity to check them out yet. But here's the first one. This is by Image Comics. This is Aphrodite 9. Looks very interesting. Obviously, Image is doing really well with their books, so I think anything that they make is worth at least giving a chance on. Really like this cover. $3.99, which is typical for Image. This is Top Cow. We'll see what happens with this, but I like the colors, but, typical person with colored green hair. That's what it is. This is from DC. I really like this cover. This is definitely one I think could be one of those sleeper hits. We'll see what happens. But this is Border Town issue number 1. I really like... I don't know if this is a new character or not. If anybody knows, let me know. But I really like the artwork on this one. As soon as I saw it, it drew me to it, and that to me is a good sign of a cover. Because, they say don't judge a book by its cover. A lot of times that happens with comics. So whether the story's good remains to be seen. Alright, this is by a company I've never heard of before. It's by Jinx World. $3.99 price, so it's worth taking the chance on. A couple of different covers. This is the variant. It's called Cover. So here's the cover of Cover. So it doesn't really let you know what it's all about. But if anything, it's worth taking a chance on for $3.99. If it's something that's not worth it, hey, you didn't spend $50 on. We'll see what happens. It has a free digital comic code, so just make sure if you buy it online, somebody hasn't taken that out. It won't make it, if you ever get it graded, it won't turn it qualified, but they will mention it. And somebody that's a completist may want to pass that up. All right, this is another #1. What company? Okay, this is by Image. And I got 2 copies because I liked, there's like a couple of different variants. This is Bully Wars, issue #1. This is by Scotty Young. So this is one of the covers. And here's the other one. This is the only time I bought more than one cover because I just really liked him. And I love Scotty Young's artwork. I mean, if anything, he does make him very cartoonish, but the colors are amazing. So this is definitely one that's interesting enough for me to take the chance on. And there's blank variants and stuff like that. But to me, blank variants are only good if you're going to get the comic signed or get a sketch. Because other than that, I mean, you're basically spending the same amount of money for what's cheaper for them because they don't have to, you know, spend a lot of money on ink. All right, this is another one. This is from DC's Vertigo. Really like this cover. This is from the Sandman universe. This is called The Dreaming, issue #1. And, of course, there are a couple of different covers for this book. This one was the one I liked the most. This is the regular cover, cover A. I didn't like the variants. To me, if I'm going to get a variant, it's got to be something that at least looks attractive. And if the regular cover is going to be more visually, you know, stimulating and exciting, I would rather just get this over the variant. So variants don't always guarantee that just because it's a variant means it's, you know, worth anything more, especially if it's not one of those limited variants. To me, the variant was not attractive at all. So in my opinion, if you're going to get this book, get this cover. All right, last but not least, what company is this? It doesn't say what company. Comics Experience. But I think this might be a sleeper pick. There's just something about this one that really caught my eye, and I think it's something you may want to pick up. It's called Family Graves. If anybody knows if that is actually the name of the comic company, if you've heard of them before, let me know. But I'm not sure if this is going to be in everybody's comic shop. I got there at 12 o'clock when they opened. There were only 2 of them. So obviously this is going to be a smaller print run. So if it ends up being something, you know, that people like, I don't think this is going to have hundreds of thousands of prints. So it might be something worth checking. Pages Film and Plastic says, would Bully Wars be a comic book that could rise in value in the future? Way too early to tell, but, I mean, is it going to be something like Hulk 181? No. Will it raise maybe to $10, $20? It's possible. It really depends on if the story's good. It really depends on if it has a following. You know, it might be just a fun read, so not everything always has to be based on the money. It could be just you like the artwork, you like the artist. So, is it something you're going to retire on? I can 99% say no. But, you know, miracles can happen. Alright, so, since those are all the books that I showed, now like I said, there's plenty of books out there that I did not get. I concentrate more on older key issues these days than the newer books, especially with all the Comics Gate fighting and all that stuff going on. I don't want any part of that stuff, and it's definitely kind of turned me off to a lot of the newer books. So this is a key book that I have several copies of, and I want to continually tell people how never to give up on a key item, even if it's something that is a grail or a mega key or desirable or an expensive book, because you will always find deals. And also, don't be afraid to message sellers. Even if they have a buy it now with no best offer, don't be afraid to message them and say, listen, I know you don't have a best offer, but I was willing to offer such and such price for a book. The worst they will do is say no. But here's the thing. If you message 100 people and 99 of them say no, but one says yes, which one are you going to focus on? The 99 that said no or the one that said yes? So it doesn't matter the amount. So take the time, take the effort, and you'll be amazed that eventually you'll get somebody to say yes if you do it and say it the right way. All right, so here is another book that I will add to my collection every time I can get it. And obviously, this is Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 300, first appearance of Venom. This is the direct edition. You can tell by this symbol right here. I have a video about that if you want to know more about it. But this looks to be... It has a little bit of an indent here, but no breaking of color. So a pressing will help that. I really think with a pressing, because it's very minor, this could get a 9.6 to a 9.8. Now, obviously, I have to check the back of this book, but this is in beautiful condition, and a 9.8 goes for about $2,400. So a lot of times when it comes to these books, it pays to buy them raw and take the chance. But a lot of times you'll see a lot of breaks along the spine, and I don't even see one. This person that I bought this from said they bought it and never opened it. And it definitely looks that way. So a pressing would absolutely clean this book up. There is not one tick along the spine. That's the most important part to check with this book. This book all day goes for between $300 and $400 these days. I got this. It was a newly listed book. Buy it now for $180. So I paid about half of what people are paying right now, and I just won this. It took about a week and a half for me to get it. You know, sometimes these sellers don't mail things right away. But here is Amazing Spider-Man 300 that could potentially, obviously, like I said, I got to open up and check it. This could be a 9.6 to a 9.8, and I paid $180 when people are paying $200 for a 5.0. So don't give up on deals. And Christopher Wysocki says, how many do you have now? I would say, honestly, I have to at least have between 5 and 7 copies of this book. And one of the things, people ask, you know, why do you get so many? Well, here's the thing. I want to try and eventually get an Amazing Fantasy 15. And I don't think I'm going to have the money, at least at this point, to buy one. Because a 0.5 is about $7,000 to $8,000. It's worth it, but, you know, I just don't have that kind of disposable income. So my thing is, if I can get a bunch of key issues where I have duplicates, maybe I can get enough of them together and do a trade, but still end up having the book. So if you get multiple copies, you can actually end up getting a book that you wanted that you may not have been able to afford by trading some of your books, but you don't trade it away if it's your only copy. So that's why I tell people, if you can, especially if you get them at good deals, you can end up using them for trades. So that's what I want to try and do eventually. So that's why I have like 3 of the Amazing Spider-Man 129, 2 or 3 of the New Mutants 98, things like that, because then if you can trade them, you might be able to get a book that you say you can't afford. Because I hear people all the time when I talk about certain books, like even the video I did yesterday about the Hulk 181. People say all the time how they can't afford it. I'm like, well, there's always ways. You know, look at yard sales. Look, this is a place that most people don't think about. Go to antique shops. Go to yard sales. I think I said yard sales. But think of things. You know, do trades with people. You know, maybe if you have a service where maybe if you know, paint houses or you do roofing. What about saying to somebody, I see you have a certain book that I want. You know, is there any work I can do on your house? Or maybe fix your car. And instead of paying me money, you give me that book. You know, use your head. There are many ways that you can get things that don't always necessarily involve money. So that's why I tell people all the time, do not give up. Because as soon as you give up, you're guaranteed to fail. So better to try and fail than to never try at all. So with that being said, I want to pick today's surprise subscriber shout out. Obviously with the live show, I don't know if you're actually a subscriber, but I don't care. Alright, so today I'm going to pick Ruben Nieves, and hopefully I pronounced that correctly. you are today's surprise subscriber shout out. And hopefully you guys will see something in the comic book store that you love. Remember, when you're going to a local comic book store, you're actually supporting, you know, your local comic book business, a mom and pop store. There's not many of those around these days. As a matter of fact, one of the comic book stores that used to be around this town closed down. So that's one of the things I want to say to some of the people in, like, the Comic Gate on both sides. With all this fighting and name-calling and all this stuff that they're doing, the one thing it's hurting the most is the local businesses, the comic book shops. And when they go under, you know, that's people losing their livelihood. So we got to think about more about just ourselves, our egos, and things like that. So hopefully, maybe someday people will learn to actually communicate with one another. You can't do it with everybody, but, you know, think about the future of this comic book community. If there's too much inner fighting and grouping and hating and all that other stuff, it makes people want to leave and makes other people never want to enter. And then that could cause damage for us in the long run. So think long term when it comes to stuff like that. So thank you as always. I always appreciate you guys viewing. Hopefully you will be kind enough to give it a thumbs up. Once again, I want to thank Corey for that super chat. I thought that was really nice of him. I mean, that's awesome. And happy hunting today. Be safe. And I'll see you next video. Don't forget, it's not you, it's not I, it's We Love Comics. Thanks for viewing, everybody. And yes, but real quick, Taylor says pawn shops are a great place. Another place that most people don't check. So go hunting, use your imagination, and find something. And have fun doing it. Peace, everybody.